Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for BroadwayWorld. The new musical comedy, The Prom, which is directed and choreographed by Tony Award winner Casey Nicholaw, will open at the Longacre Theatre on November 15th, and we drop by the rehearsal studio to meet the company.
Well, it's basically a bunch of really narcissistic Broadway actors who find themselves out of work and decide to sort of get some good press by doing, some trying to find something to do to get some good press. And they hear this story about a girl who wants to take her girlfriend to the prom and isn't allowed to. So they decide they're going to go down to this small town in Indiana and, have a rally and change minds. And of course, they are complete bumbling idiots in a way, and it goes hilariously wrong.
It's such a special show because it's got this combination of two crazy things where you have this huge Broadway classic musical comedy and Casey Nicholaw dance numbers, and then you have this little heart of gold in the middle of it that really hits home and makes you cry happy tears.
Yes. We're comedians, but to have the opportunity to find an arc for characters discovering their humanity is really a privilege in this original piece with some of the best music I've ever heard in Casey's direction, and it's
marvelous.
Oh my
God. It is. It's a real honor and a privilege, like
really
Beth said. We don't always get to do it. You said how it turns on a dime. That's what I love. It's not, I don't feel I hope not, it's not like slamming anything over the head. It's the way people behave. All of a sudden things get a little touching or scary or sad or funny. That's how it works. And this play really
surprises you. It surprises you. So that's one thing we're really looking forward for an audience experiencing that and going, oh my gosh, it's all of this.
Right.
Just being in the room with these legends and actors that I've looked up to, we both look up to, and getting to see them work and changing things and getting to tell this story, which I think is so important for this time, has been really extraordinary. I'm very excited for audiences to see it.
Yeah, it's been overwhelming in a good way, just with everyone's reactions to the show. It's such a special piece, and the room is filled with special people, and it's refreshing, and it's fun to show up to work. And as she said, we've been looking up to these people for so long, and to be able to work with them is just outstanding, and it's so cool, so it's very exciting.
Just 7 years of getting to work with our friends, our people, and collaborate and create has just been a dream.
Yeah, a thing like this doesn't really happen where you literally get to work with friends that you've known for 20 years or more, and you just play and play and play, but you're working, but you're playing, and you get to get it right, and you get to keep working on making sure it gets right. But it's been nothing but a pleasure and frustrating all at the same time, but it's always been fun. And Casey is just a cheerleader. He's an amazing cheerleader. His energy, I don't know where he gets it, but
there's always been an underlying joy.
Absolutely.
Underlying joy that Casey has had, and it's just, that's what makes the project just something out of this world and once in a lifetime.
I love it because it's a traditional kind of comedy with a sort of broad farcical shell and a heart at the middle of it all, and a message that's really important, a message about being inclusive and listening to the other sides, which is so important at this particular point in history. But it's also not a lecture. It's totally enjoyable because of the skilled comedians we're working with, and the farcical shell.
There's nothing better than to be able to create the thing itself and put your own stamp on it, and that excites me greatly. And this incredible company.
It's a beautiful group of people, and not only are they beautiful inside and outside, but they're extremely talented. And to be able to witness it from me to be able, this is my Broadway debut.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I really am just a housewife from Atlanta. So this is big for me, to be able to watch these people.
Oh, I love you. For me, this show is just so refreshing. It is so nice to not be doing RoboCop the musical with the songs of Enya. As wonderful as RoboCop the musical is, it's just so nice to do something real, something new. And with Casey Nicholaw, I mean, he's a comedy god. It's so fulfilling and refreshing.
The company of players you have put together, I call it the Casey Nicholaw Repertory Company.
Oh my God. I feel like that. I've worked with all of them. You know, I've worked with all of them, and I love doing it, and we've had such a shorthand, and I think that because you don't have to discover each other, we've just written for these people that we know. So we're able to work to all their strengths, and also we've given them a lot of input about things. Like, you know, it's so easy when you feel comfortable with people and there's no kind of, you know, jostling, that we can just get in a room with Bob and Matt and Chad and then get the actors in and go like, okay, the scene's not working. What do you guys think is wrong with it? And then they say, we think I would be doing this or that or that. And then we rewrite it. And then we try to get it, because there's been some scenes, because it's such a crazy idea, there's a lot of exposition that has to happen. And so it took us a while to get there, and I think we've finally gotten there.
So much laughter. Like, when I think about the process of us writing this, we have laughed so hard so many times. And then, you know, with the girl's story, you know, it brings us to tears. You know, and that's one thing I love about the show, is that it works on so many different levels. And you can be in that moment when you're laughing at something and then something happens and then it makes you well up and then you're laughing again. And that's very difficult to do. We've worked really hard to accomplish that with the show.